Welcome back, hunters. I'm the SurvivalVis, and we return to Monster Hunter World Iceborne, where we took down Annoyance Incarnate, easiest Elder Dragon to farm, and now it is time for the Dumpster Fire Dragon, Lunastra, to round out the week before we see Fatalis arrive in Iceborne. So, build is going to be the same as it has been for the other weeks. It's going to be my Drakshot build that uses the attack boost 7, agitator, defense boost, health boost, Definitely taking the heavy artillery. It's probably going to make Lunastra the least infuriating possible. As for items as well, I'm going to definitely be taking flash pods, because we're going to definitely want to be tricking her into using her Nova a few times. And you know what? We're going to use a voucher. 2011 left, thank you Steamworks. Very helpful. And we are definitely going to eat for the Bombardier. Now, Lunastra, as I said, Dumpster Fire Dragon. It is, in my opinion, the worst monster to fight in Iceborne. It doesn't even feel that much like a Monster Hunter fight. It feels like a crossover more. Like, it feels along the lines of things that the Behemoth and the Leshen would do when you encounter them in the game. Like, I'm alright with it leaving like AoE patches of sorts on the ground that if you're in, it burns. What's not okay to me, though, is like how they almost like draft these heat blasts out on certain attacks, and if you're a gunner, they sometimes completely stop your shots from going through them. It's like a physical object, which is really bizarre. But anyway, just going to make sure I have the right item loadout. Yeah, and I got the flash pods. Okay, we're all set. Runa is just using her same armor and the one... Actually, you know what? Maybe I'll show off the sleep weapon because I found it to be so helpful to have her with it. It is the Feline Guild Book Alpha Plus. The Sleep 90, I find, usually get at least one off per hunt. Sometimes it can get two depending on how things go, but at least very consistent to have. Oh, and there's Gila Gamma, a little mix of black and orange on Poogie's costume there, just kind of give that Gila monster look. Okay, but enough of that. We got a hunt to go on. Master rank events. Nicole never bothered me. Nicole didn't, but Lunastra sure does. Okay, we're going to go just for one. No vouchers. Everything is looking good. So this is basically your field test, I suppose, to get you all ready for whatever Fatalis may bring. Which is a tad worrying, because, like, if Lunastra is your final one to lead into him, does that mean he's going to be pulling some of what Lunastra does? If so, yeah. Not sure how much I like that. And we'll also have to see how the microphone does, because I am, well, not the microphone, more Audacity. I'm trying something a bit different with the audio, in that I am using a few different sound, well, actually, only one different real sound effect, filter, whatever. It's just that it's replacing everything else, and I want to see, I feel like it gives you more like of a direct voice, you hear me better, but if I'm talking like this, in this direction, actually I just want to see. Okay, I guess it is level. It just looks, maybe the angle makes it look a little weird. Maybe it's just my head tilt, who knows. Anyway, it feels like it's a little more direct and like not as hollow, talking right straight on like this. But if I talk like this, it feels a bit more distant. So I gotta see how that is. And I'll see what your guys' thinking is for it, too. I want the Gilly Mantle on first. Okay, number one is we're going to want to prep the cannons, because we've got a nice sequence you can actually pull off with Lunastra. Actually, I suppose all the other dragons, but... well, all of them in here. The previous two quests that were in the supply cache. So, we want it facing... yeah, right about there, I think, is good. I know this one we got to nudge just a bit. Maybe a little bit more. There, that should probably be good there. There's one. It is a bit slow to set up, but it will save you a lot in the long run. Like, with all the stuff we have on, I'm guessing we're going to get, like, 450 damage every cannon shot that lands. So, I mean, it doesn't take long for you guys to realize that's going to be easy 1,000 damage loading up. Actually, 450 times 5... So 9, 18, 22.5. So 2,250 damage for if all 5 of each cannon goes off. That's actually a lot more than I was expecting, but... And then you get the Dragon Razor, you definitely also want to get off too. So let's get this all loaded up. I mean, the setup is close to the same with Teostra. It actually might be a little easier if you have a few people who don't have the Gilling Mantle, because I think Lunastra mostly will just patrol back and forth over there like she is right now. And what we want to do is... Oh, come on over here, you. And then we hop on that and change it to the binder. Okay, now we're not going to run to the Razor first. We're actually going to hit the cannons, because the cannons won't do extra damage if she's tenderized, so... There should be enough time for you to be able to get those... Yeah, like, look at how much damage that already was. And she's going to be pissed now, so we're going to mantle on up. Okay, good. So she's in there. Now, because we got the mantle, we are going to do the 3 and the attack. That should get her to the point of tenderized. There we go. Now, this is going to be the tricky one. Because I don't want her to be launched... into the ballista. She might have actually already broken it, if I'm honest. Boom! That's what we want. Okay, now we want to get up to the Dragon Razor. And it looks like she's a little bit straight on. I might have to try turning it just up. Ah, shoot. No, you dumb dragon. God, I hate her. Now, granted, it's kind of hard to squeeze it in, but she's just such an annoying monster to fight. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do that, so that way she's going to use her Nova effect, or should, because I'm pretty sure it's a guaranteed, once she snaps out of it, she does it. I mean, I could have sworn it was. Okay, well, I guess not, but if she's going to give us the shots, might as well make use of this. Let's try to get away from there so she doesn't break that. I still want to get the Dragon Razor off on her. Because that's going to be a lot of damage you can squeeze in with... Oh, gotta be careful of that one. That, I know the hitbox is hard to read. Okay. Ow. Yeah, she's gonna be difficult to try to figure out, almost. The problem is, Ow. Okay, I'm surprised that actually hit us. One of my problems with her AoE things on the ground is that if you get hit with, like, almost like a residual blow of it, it can do a lot of damage to you. Okay, well, thankfully we're pretty out of the way of that. Ow. She is one that I'm just always so cautious of. Because it can be very easy to get caught in her Nova and basically taken down like nothing. We'll snag that bit of ammo, though. Surprised she hasn't toppled over from our spread 3 to the face. Aw, oh, crap. Speaking of the Nova. Yeah, this might... Oh, no, we did manage to survive it, but... Like, close call still. I really hate that move. It feels... Well, basically not Monster Hunter to me. Feels like an MMO in a way. And now we also have to contend with... No, how do you screw that up? We were point blank at the head. Okay, gotta figure out how I want to do this, because I still want to get the Dragon Razor off. That's what you gotta be careful of, is that those little, like, spurts of fire off, they do a lot more damage than you would give them. Like, even with us having the 18... Oh. Okay, well, I mean, I am happy you got the sleep proc off, Runa. It's just, I wish it was kind of in a better spot. Yeah, she's going to be too far away to hit that, isn't she? Yep. We're far enough away so that won't hit us. Okay, here she comes now. Ow. That is probably the hardest hitbox, in my opinion, to read. Because it doesn't look like it should actually reach you, but of course do. Okay, so how do we want to try to get this aligned? Because she is not going down. We do have the mantle up, though, so I'm thinking... Don't know how I'm on the tail when we were right at the front of her, but let's see. God, why is she such a pain to even get the right place, like, clutched to? At least this should be, yeah, that'll definitely be right in. There we go. And that'll be the tenderize off. Yeah, she even has roar locks to be annoying alongside wind locks. Okay, let's get out of the fire because we don't need to stay in that. I don't know if we'll really be able to... Oh, maybe we can use the roaming. Yeah, I prefer to get her head. Ah, shoot. Not fall over, you stupid thing. Oh, Lord. Okay, didn't realize she was that close on us. Get over into the open. God, she never wants to fall down, does she? God, I'm really hoping that Fatalis doesn't have too much in common with Lunastra here, and it was just a random decision to make her the inclusion before him. I was like, between the roar locks, the wind locks, and all the fire that's on the ground. And the absolute lack of her falling over, even though there's a lot of damage that's being done to her, makes it annoying. Yeah, horns are broken. I don't think we've had a topple aside from the wall smashes. At least there's a tenderize on her. I wanted to use the Dragon Razor, but she's not going to give us any opening for it. It does seem you basically have to use it at the very beginning. Otherwise, you're probably not going to get the chance. Good lord, there wasn't even a delay. Ow. Yep, see? As much as you don't think it's going to do a lot of damage, it's those stupid little fire farts that can take you down. She is just way too dangerous from something that doesn't even seem like it should be that dangerous, really. Crap. Oh, really? There we go. One good point blank to the face to end it off. Yeah, so probably better off to start with the... I'm honestly tempted to say, bind her in place with that. Use the Dragon Razor, and then run to the cannons. Because once the Dragon Razor does go properly off, it will trigger a knockdown. And I think as long as you have the cannons aimed correctly, even if she's flopping on the floor there, you should be able to get in close and take her down and put an end to the Dumpster Fire Dragon. I think she had potential, but there's just so much of her fight that is kind of like the bad parts of Monster Hunter. Just gonna see if I can snag a quick screenshot for the thumbnail. Ah, good enough. And a second. Like, she includes the roar locks that hold you in place to let you get a guaranteed hit off, or them to get the guaranteed hit on you. There's the wind locks that do the same thing to you. There's no downtime between a lot of attacks. And there are a lot of these really wide area hitting that really punish you unless you're right on the ball with something. And not really enough for me to warrant, say, farming this quest. Like Teostra, I would say that one that was last week probably would have been your best chance to farm because it's the easiest of the Elder Dragons. Kushala is just annoying. Teostra's pretty easy to learn this kind of movements and patterns. Lunastra is just a pain. It can be Frustration Incarnate, I would say. because as much as you feel like you're doing good, all you need is like one of those wrong Nova attacks of hers, and you're already could basically be dead. If it goes off at the wrong time and you don't have a way of preparing, or like, we got lucky with the double dive, and that was the only one that she actually really used. There are times where I have fought her and she's used 2 or 3 different times, and it just can be a pain. I think like the first time I tried her, I know I used actually 2 to 3 carts. I think I actually used 3 because I had the Palico Vigor Wasp resurrection of sorts. Without that, I definitely would have failed that one, so... My advice would probably be, if you're going to farm decorations, do not farm her, focus more on the Tempered Zinogre, because it's much easier, it's much faster, and you don't have to deal with any of the frustration, aggravation, what have you. But for now, we are going to end this episode of Monster Hunter right here, and coming up very soon, we have Fatalis, the original Black Dragon, the Runer of Shrade, the end of Monster Hunter World Iceborne, coming up. I'm very excited for it, and we're going to see what it has in store. But for now, we will end this episode here. Thank you all very much for joining me on this episode of Monster Hunter World Iceborne. If you do like any of the videos, be sure to give them a like, or if you have any comments, requests, etc., leave them in the comments right down below. I try to respond to any questions, feedback, etc. as soon as I can. Until I see you on the next episode, though, hunters and survivors alike, please remember to take care and stay alive.